Hello you guys, welcome back. And today I think we need to talk about my currently reading list on Goodreads. Right now I have 12 books that I'm reading. Yes, 12 books that I'm currently reading on Goodreads. And I really need to put a stop to this. I really have to just start books and finish them. But let's talk about the list right now. I'm gonna go in order, so the oldest book that I've added on the list will be the first, and then the most current one will be the last one that I will talk about. And I also think that there might be books that I haven't even added yet. Like, I'm sure I've started the Portable Dorothy Parker, and I haven't even added that book to the list, so I probably have like way more books that I've started and never finished. And not because I DNF these books, just because, there's always something else that grabs my attention. It's just a really bad habit that I need to just stop. So I'm making this video to hold myself accountable for this, and also to share my experiences with you and all of the books that I'm currently reading, because I'm actually not actively reading all of these. One, I don't even know where it is anymore. So let's just talk about the books that I'm reading right now. The first book on the list is Sophie's Choice by William Styron. I hope that's how you say it. I'm currently on page 72 in the book. Yes, it's not a happy one. So this is one of those books, it's post-World War. We know, if you've seen the movie, then you know it's gonna be about the war. It's gonna be really heavy. Even though it's not a bad book and I don't find it unentertaining, I just really just couldn't let myself go with this one, just like I was with the Stephen King one. I found it a little bit too depressing, so I kind of stopped. But I think I want to pick this up in a couple of weeks, probably even to read this in sections, like read, I don't know, 50, 60, 40, I don't know how many pages, and then pick up a different book and then go back in. So something that I would want to do with this book, but I definitely want to finish this. This is Sophie's Choice. The second one is Nostromo by Joseph Conrad. And this book is on many book lists, and that is the reason why I wanted to read this. I've read Lord Jim by Joseph Conrad. And it's starting in a port. I don't even know. I'm on page 32 in this one. I started reading this probably 3 years ago. That's how bad I am with these things. And I honestly couldn't tell you what this is about. I think there's a riot in a port, but I would really have to go back and read the first couple of pages just to get on sync with the story, because right now I have no idea about it anymore. This is something that I would want to read when I will feel like it. I don't know when that would be, but this is something that I also want to finish. Unfortunately, right now I have no idea about this. I don't know what it's about, but we'll get there. Then the third one on the list is Iliad. This is the Hungarian edition that I have just gotten. And I had another copy of this that I have left somewhere. I don't know, I just kind of lost it. In the house, it must be in the house somewhere, I just don't know where. So I don't even know the place. In the other copy, I think on 144. I would really have to find my place in this. This is a classic. Everyone needs to read this at least one in their lifetime. This goes right over my head. I'm reading this book and I don't understand any of it, and I have to go back and read passages again. And the format is kind of difficult to read because, there are sections numbered, but still it's a difficult format. I will fight my way through. I don't know when I'll finish this, probably next year, but this is on the list. Or probably I will also read this in sections, I don't know, but I will fight with this book and I will get myself through it. Yeah. And the next one is an ebook that I don't have with me, of course. I don't have a physical copy. And that is Pasta, Pinot, and Murder by Jamie Lee Scott. I will put a picture of it naturally here somewhere. And it's a cozy mystery about a food critic. I think it's about a food critic who is also investigating some murder. I think it's a series of books, but I found this on Google Books for free. So I started reading it when I got my new job, which was 2 years ago. And I've read many cozy mysteries at that time online, but this one I didn't even start it properly. I think I read 1 page of it or something, like the first page, I think. I don't know. I think I'll finish it at work, but I don't know when. It would be a perfect thing for October to finish a cozy mystery, especially when I'm fed up with horror and really gory stuff and Stephen King and all the depressing books. Yes, I might want to do this, like this month at work. Probably I will get into it as soon as I read more, but that's also something to be done soon. And the next book I have talked about, I think, on this channel, I don't know, but I definitely have updated it on Goodreads, but it's Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. And after I finished A Tale of a Tub, I think I started reading the book, and then it was, yet again, it's nonfiction, it's kind of a self-help book. So I had a more difficult time, getting on with it, so I kind of set it aside and decided to read something else, and now I don't know where it is. I think it might be in a dining room. I don't even know. I would have to find it, but there's something I want to get through like this year, because it's not a bad book, it's just way too many examples of, let's take this person for example, and this is how they have turned their lives around by using this technique. It doesn't really talk about the technique itself, just people who have done good. So it's a bit difficult to get through, because I've read many positive thinking books. I've read Andrew Matthews, I've read the Abraham Hicks, I've read Louis L. Hay. Those are classics, I think, in this genre, and I like those. This is a little bit more difficult to get through, but hopefully this year I will do it. I mean, if I find it. Then next up is Game of Thrones. I started reading this when the show was wrapping up last year. So when the final season came out and I got back into the story again, and I am on page 147, which is basically nothing. I mean, I think they are just getting to the castle, so it's absolutely nowhere in the story. I like the writing, I like the story, and I like how much the script has stayed true to the book, at least so far, that I could see, because I hate it when they change the story, and especially when they change it drastically. But this is something I should get back into. I think it's mostly the length that's kind of holding me back, because it is, I don't know, this is also like almost 800 pages or something. Yeah, 790 something. 798, so almost 800 pages. At some point, I don't know when, but I will finish this. And this one I have started reading at the beginning of the quarantine, because I thought I would be doing so much gardening. I'll be out in the garden all the time, and then it didn't exactly work out that way. So this is The Complete Gardener by Monty Don. Garden enthusiast, he has a TV show, Gardener's World, which is a huge thing, and I love it. I just love that TV show so much. And this is his book about gardening all throughout the year. So I thought it would be great preparation for gardening, and I didn't garden not much, let's just say. I gardened a little, but not much this spring. So I think probably in November and December, in preparation for next year's gardening, I kind of want to do a lot more of that, because sometimes I'm really into it and I make a beautiful garden, and then next year I just basically cut the grass and that's it. But and weed, probably. So this is something I will get back into next month, I think, and I just really love his writing. I think he's a journalist by profession, so he writes really, really well, and then he has a really great passion for garden and plants and all that kind of stuff. So this is a lovely book. I got this used off eBay because it's unavailable here in Hungary, but this is definitely something that I will get back into before I start in garden next year. Then Metamorphoses by Ovid. Yeah, that's also a book that I'm reading online at work. So I just thought I would read one chapter at a time at work. You know, it's moving along. I did that same thing with Decameron. I don't know how to say that, but I will put it up here. I did the same thing because it was 1,000 pages, so I always read like 10 pages at a time, and I was done in a couple of months with it at work. So that kind of works for me. So hopefully I can do the same thing with this. I have talked about this book on this channel a couple of times. This is something that I found used. You can probably see how beat up this is. This is Nest by Terry Goodkind, and it's terrifying. Definitely want to read this month. I just want to finish some other things first, and this will be my bus book. So when I go to work or when I come home from work, I will read this because I don't think it will be that terrifying if I have people around me and it's daylight and it's daytime. Definitely not a going to sleep kind of a book, you know, that you read before going to sleep. So yeah, this should be done soon. And then the one I'm currently reading, the last one, which is an actual book and not an ebook, not an audiobook, is Desperation by Stephen King. I think probably by the time this video goes up, I will have read this. So hopefully, but I think that I will read this very, very soon because there is just not much of it left. This is going, yes, I'm so happy, yes. Now I only have 2 audiobooks that I need to talk about. Well, those are the things that I will, you know, be listening to soon, so I'm not really worried about those. But the ones that I have on my list is, the first one is Satan's Harvest by Ed and Lorraine Warren. That's the last book in their series, which I wanted to listen to this October because those are so perfectly spooky books. So I'm actually listening to that one, I think, tonight. I might even finish it tonight, we'll see. And the last one that I have on my list is Hannibal by Thomas Harris. I love that book. I have it on Kobo, so I have it on my phone. I can listen to that one at work or when I go to work or, you know, whenever. Usually, funnily enough, before I go to sleep. That's my before I go to sleep book. I don't know why, it just turned out that way. I just love Clarice Starling. She's my favorite. She's an absolute hero, I think. And I just love listening to her life, even if it's spooky, and then the weird connection he has with Hannibal Lecter is very interesting. So that's something that I will listen to this month, like probably next week I can finish it, something like that. So yeah, the goal is to get this list down to 5 or 6, like 7 at the most. It would be so amazing to not have more than 7 books on my currently reading list. Well, if you discount audiobooks, then it's just 11, but still, I really need to work on this, so that is something to do this year. I hope you guys like this. I hope you guys also have a few books you want to finish this year and then move on to other things. So like the video, subscribe to my channel, and then until the next time, bye bye. Let's finish some books, you guys. Bye bye.